Hi guys, welcome back to the session. Today we will learn about data tables in UiPath. So let's get started by looking into the data table. So data table is a variable type used to store a big piece of information and acts as a simple spreadsheet or database with rows and columns. So let's quickly jump into the UiPath to create a project which uses data table variable. So I'm going to create a new project here. So for that, let's click on process and let's give the name over here, demo data table. And my project will be stored in this location, and let's give the description as this is a demo on data table variable. And let's click on create. So here we are in the UiPath design page. Let's move to project, double click on main, and now we are good to drop activities over here. So for that we'll move to activities, and first we need to take the workflow type. So I'm going to take the workflow type as flowchart. Let's take this flowchart, drag and drop this over here, and double click on the flowchart. Now we are good to drop activities over here which uses data table variable. So for that I'm going to search over here data table. So these all are the activities which work on the data table variable, and these activities belong to the uipath.system.activities package. So we will look into each of them one by one. First, let's look into the build data table activity, which creates data table according to specified schema. So let's drag and drop this activity over here. Let's connect it from start and double click over here. And under this build data table activity, we have this data table button. So if you click on this data table button, we have this build data table window, which helps us to customize the data table which we wish to create. So you see we have two columns and two rows by default. So we can delete these columns and create of our own. Now to create the columns, we can click on this plus sign, and we have this new column window with us. So we can provide the column names which we wish to create. So let's say that I want to create the column as employee name, and the data type will be of type string. If you wish to allow the null values, you will check this box. Otherwise, if you don't wish to allow null values, you will uncheck this box. And this auto increment is for the integer data type, so this is not enabled for the string data type. We can provide a default value over here, and we can provide the maximum length as well. Now in case if you don't wish to provide any maximum length, you can keep it as -1, and let's click on OK. Now let's create other columns. Let's give the column name as age, and here the data type will be in 32, and let's keep all these as default. Let's click on OK, and I'm going to add a last column as salary, and the data type will be int 32, and we'll go with these default values. So let's click on OK. So we are creating a data table with employee name, age and salary column. Let's provide some values over here. Let's keep the employee name as John, his age as 32 and salary as 3000. Let's give another row. Let's add another row. Let's give the employee name as Nick, age 25 and salary as maybe 4000. Now when you will click on this above row, you see a new row item has been created, so we can provide more values over here. So let's give the name as Harry, age as 29 and salary as 1000. And I'm going to add one more row. Let's give the name as Tom, age as 30 and salary as 5000. So we are creating a data table with columns employee name, age and salary with these values. I'm going to take this screenshot for future reference. Let's take this as screenshot, and let's click on OK, and we need to assign those values to the data table variable. So under the properties of this build data table, under the output section, we need to create a data table variable. So for that, right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the name as my data table. And we have provided all the details under build data table. Let's move to flowchart. Now let's say that the data table which we created, that is my data table, which contains all these details, I want to display it inside a message box. So how to do that? So to display that inside a message box, we know that we have a message box activity. Let's drag and drop it over here. But we know that this message box takes only string values, and this my data table is a data table variable. So we need to convert this my data table into string. So how to do that? So for that we have another activity. Let me show you. We have already used that activity in previous sessions. So we have this output data table activity which converts a data table into a string value. So we are going to use this one. So I'm going to remove this connection and I'm going to add this over here. And what we have under the output data table, let me show you. Under this output data table property, it takes input as a data table. I'm going to give the input as my data table variable, and the output it takes as a string. So I'm going to create a new variable, and let's keep the variable name as data table, that is dt as string. So this output data table takes input as this data table and converts that data table into a string value. So we'll move to flowchart again, and I'm going to connect this message box to this output data table activity. So now I'm under the message box, we can provide the string variable which we created, dt as string. So let's move to flowchart again. So we'll quickly run this task to see how it works, and after that we'll proceed further. So let's run this one. So you see we got the data table values under the message box. Let's press OK. Now let's say that from this data table, I want to extract the employee names whose age is greater than 25 and salary is greater than 1000. So let me show you how we can do this in UiPath. So first of all, we need to add a for each activity to loop through each of these rows. So I'm going to add a for each activity for. So this is the for each row activity under the data table which we will use today to loop through each row of a data table. Make sure that you are not using this for each under the control which we had used in the previous session to loop through emails, folders, etc. So we will use this for each row to loop through the data table. So let's drag and drop it over here. Let's double click over here, and under this for each row activity, let's see what all details we need to provide. So for each row in the data table, that is my data table, that is for each row in this my data table, I want to fetch employee name, age and salary. So how to do that? So for that I'm going to use another activity under the data table. So under the data table there is get row item activity which is used to fetch any row item according to a specified column. So let's see how we can use that one. Let's drag and drop it under the body, and under the get row item we need to provide the data table row. So we are going to take the active row which is the row. So I'm going to write over here row, and using this get row item activity I want to fetch values from this employee names column. So let's see how we can do that. So for that let's change the display name first as get row item employee name, and under the input we need to provide the column name as well which we wish to fetch. So in our case the column name is employee name, so let's give the employee name over here under double quotes, and instead of this column name we can also use column index, but this column index changes whenever the columns are added or deleted in future, so it's a good practice to use the column name. Now when the UiPath will loop through each row of the data table, let's say that UiPath is looping through the first row. So from the first row the employee name value will be John. So that need to be stored inside a variable as well. So here we need to create a variable as well to store the employee name values. So for that, I'm going to right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the variable name as employee name. So we have provided over here employee name variable. So what this get row item activity will do, for first row it will fetch the value John, for second row it will fetch the value Nick, for third row it will fetch the value Harry, and for the fourth row it will fetch the value as Tom. Similarly, we need to fetch the age and salary as well. So we will create two more get row item activity over here. So let's drag and drop these two activities, get row item, and let's provide the values. So under the get row item, I'm going to give the data table row as row, and under this one, let's provide the display name as age, and column name we need to provide. So the next column is age, so I'm going to provide over here age under double quotes. Again, this need to be stored inside a variable, so I'm going to create a variable. Right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the name of the variable as age. And the next one we have is for next column, that is salary. So I'm going to give the data table row as row, and let's give the display name over here as salary. The column name I'm going to use as salary. So let's provide over here column name as salary, and that need to be stored inside a variable. So right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the variable name as salary. Let's move to for each again. So we have provided here three get row item, that is for employee name, age and salary, and accordingly we got the three variables over here, that is the employee name, age and salary. Here the age is variable type is string, so let's change the variable type to int32 both for age and salary. Now that we have fetched the values of employee name, age and salary, I want to put a if condition to check the age and the salary. So I'm going to add a if condition now. So let's drag and drop it over here, and in the condition I'm going to provide age greater than 25 and salary greater than 1000. So if age is greater than 25 and salary is greater than 1000, I want to display a message. I want to display the message as I want to display the employee names of all the employees whose age is greater than 25 and salary is greater than 1000. So under the message box, let's provide the value over here, and I'm going to write employee name variable plus, and under the double quotes I'm going to write satisfies the condition. Let's press OK. And again in the else part I'm going to add another message box, and here I'm going to write employee name plus does not satisfy the condition. Let's press OK again. So now our for each row activity is complete. Let me show you what all we are doing. So for each row in my data table, that is for each of these rows in this data table, UiPath is going to extract employee name, age and salary. So for the first row, the UiPath will extract John 32 and 3000. For the second row, UiPath will extract Nick 25 and 4000, and so on. So for each row in the My Data table, we are fetching employee name, age and salary. Then we are providing a condition that if age is greater than 25 and salary is greater than 1000, then display the message as employee name satisfies the condition. Else, that means if this condition doesn't meet, then we are going to display a message as employee name doesn't satisfy the condition. So our project is ready now. We'll quickly run it to see how it works. So let's save this one and let's quickly run the task. So first of all, it extracted the entire data table inside the message box. Let's press OK. And then it displayed the message box as John satisfies the condition. Since the age of John is greater than 25 and salary is also greater than 3000, that means John satisfies the condition. Let's press OK. And then it says Nick does not satisfy the condition since the age is not greater than 25. Press OK. And then it says Harry does not satisfy the condition since the salary is not greater than 1000. That's why it says Harry does not satisfy the condition. Let's press OK again. And then it says Tom satisfies the condition since the age of Tom is greater than 25 and salary is also greater than 1000. So Tom satisfies the condition. So let's press OK again. So in this way our task works successfully. We learnt different activities under the data table which uses this data table variable. Now here you see there are different activities related to add data column, add data row, and remove data column and remove data row. Even though this build data table activity has provided the option to customize the data table by adding new rows and columns and by removing already existing rows and columns, instead of that UiPath has provided other activities as well to add and remove data row and data column, which is very helpful in case you wish to add or remove row or column according to a condition. Let's say that I want to add another data row on the basis of a condition. So let's say that what condition we can put. Let's say that I have created a variable as flag and I have provided the variable type as boolean, and I am providing an input dialog. I'm providing an input dialog. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me double click over here and let's take the value of this flag variable from the user. Let's give the title as enter true or false. And under the label, I'm going to write, do you want to add more rows to data table? So when the project will run, the user will be prompted with a question, do you want to add more rows to the data table? The value needs to be provided as true or false. And that value will be stored inside a variable. So under the output result, I'm going to add this flag variable which we have just created. And if the value of flag is true, we are going to use this add data row activity to add more rows to the data table. So for that we need to add a if condition as well. So first of all I will delete this connection, and after this build data table, let's connect this one. Once the data table will be created, then the user will be prompted with an input dialog. Do you wish to add more rows to the data table? After that we need to check this flag condition. So I'm going to use this if activity over here. Let's delete this add data row. We are going to use that one under this if only. Double click over here and under the condition I'm going to provide as flag variable which we have created equal to true. So if the value of flag is true, then I'm going to add an activity add data row. Let's drag and drop it over here. So under this add data row activity, let's see what all we have. So here we need to provide the data table where we wish to add the row. So our data table name is my data table, and the row which we are adding should have some value as well. So we can provide the value either as data row or array row. So we'll go with the array row. So let's click over here and let's provide the new row value under this curly brace. So we need to provide employee name, age and salary. So let's provide over here. Employee name will be of type string. So under the double quotes, let's provide the employee name. Let's provide the name as Kim. Age let's provide as 29 and salary let's provide as 7000, and let's press OK. So when the flag value will be true, one more row will be added to this my data table, else we don't want to do anything. So let's keep the else as blank. Let's move to flowchart again, and we need to connect this one as well. So input dialog I'm connecting to this if activity, and this if will be connected to this output data table. So what our project is finally doing, first of all, it's using this build data activity to create a data table with columns employee name, age and salary with 4 rows. Then it is asking the user, do you wish to add more rows to the data table in the form of true or false? So the value will be stored inside this flag variable, and if the flag value is true, then we are going to add more rows to the my data table. Then we are going to display the data table, the final data table inside the message box. Then we have added the for each activity to loop through each row of the data table and provided a condition to check the age and salary. And if the age is greater than 25 and salary is greater than 1000, then we are displaying the message as employee name satisfies the condition, else employee name doesn't satisfy the condition. So we'll do a final run to see how the project works now. So let's save this one and let's quickly run this. So we got this prompt since we have added this input dialog activity. Do you want to add more rows to data table? So if I provide over here true, let's press OK. Here you see a new row got added since we made the variable flag as true. So let's press OK, and now it will display the messages for the employees which satisfied the condition or which doesn't satisfy the condition. So let's see. So John satisfies the condition, Nick does not satisfy the condition, Harry does not satisfy the condition, and Tom satisfies the condition. We will get one more message box since we have added one more row. Let's press OK. And we got the message box for the new row as well, that is Kim satisfies the condition. So let's press OK again. So in the today's session, we learned different activities under system.activities package which deals with the data table variable. And also in the previous sessions, we have learnt the Excel and the workbook activities which also deals with the data table variable. So this is the project which we created in the Excel automation session. So this Excel package also deals with data table variables. So you learnt that in the previous sessions, you have learned that this read range activity reads the values from the Excel and stores it inside the data table, and this write range activity writes the data table inside an Excel sheet. And similar is the case with the workbook package as well. Let me show you. So this workbook package also deals with several data table variables which we have already learnt in the previous sessions. So try to do hands-on on data table variable using different activities. We have a lot of activities in UiPath which uses the data table variable. And that's all for this session, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and share with your friends and hit the bell button to get the updates on the latest videos. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.